Alright, what is up, you guys? It is Jake State Farm here with Atomic Theory, back with another Atomic Chess stream, and we are hopping right into this one here. Today is an exciting day. We are going to be playing an arena tournament in roughly 40 minutes on my new website, atomicchesstheory.com. And then after that, I have a match against Natso, the two-time Atomic World Champion. But bear with me for a second. Let me make sure this is working okay. Seems to be okay. Let me know if you guys have any problems with the stream. I'm just setting it up right now, and it looks like it's. Hope it's not struggling at all just yet. But yeah, please let me know if there are any problems with it. It seems to be working okay. But before we hop into the arena tournament and my match against Natso, I'm just gonna be streaming a little bit this morning. This is what I'm watching right now. Is the Wolf Arena. It's the arena that Wolfram put on for the Wolf Random variant, which if you don't know how that works, the computer randomly generates 3 moves, and those 3 moves, I can't remember what his bounds are for the exact tournament, but it's something like can't be +8 or -8 for either side, but basically it just is a way to get a fresh position. And so this was the 3 moves, though I guess Black had this as well. These were the 3 moves that were randomly generated, and then this position will be played twice. And I believe they played 10 games, so if they split these last 2 games, I think it'll be a draw. But let me see if I can check on the tournament real quick while I'm watching this. Let me pull this into another tab. Let's see here. It would be the... It's hard to follow with standings because I don't, you know, there's not necessarily rounds. There's just you play your game, and then you get paired in a couple days or so. Like Wolfram just played against Quasabianth 41 hours ago, looks like. So, and then they already played against Ackley as well. So, I'm not exactly sure what the standings are. Let me ask. Also, don't mind me, I haven't had breakfast yet, so I'm going to be eating a little bit on stream here. And Wolf Arena log thread. Oh. Okay, maybe I was just on the wrong, there we go. Nice, okay. So, okay, wow, this is actually a close race here. I'll pull this up. So currently you got Wolfram with 24.5, Atomic Overseer with 24.5, and then Quasabianth at 23.5 points, I guess is what that is. But Wolfram's probably gone up since then, I reckon. Alright, so that game ended in a draw. I do believe that this will be the last game. So it's going to be a winner takes all game here. And this is a pretty important one. Unique openings is at 17.5. Quasabianth at 23.5. So 2 top 5 players here. They say mate in 2. Yeah, why did he go for this? It's very strange. I don't know this player, Unique Openings. He's somewhat of a new player. Yeah, joined 3 weeks ago. It could be somebody's alt. I don't know. I know who it is in the Discord server. But okay, let's follow along this game here. So same position that we just had. I'm going to ask them. Wolfram mentions queen takes d6 here. Why was this rejected? You'd have to play king f8. It's unclear. But yeah, you can just get the bishop as well, so same thing. So honestly, pretty smart. I mean, obviously you have bishop d6 here, forcing out queen takes d6. Oh wait, but it should just be winning because of bishop c4. Yeah, bishop d6, bishop c4. And that's the ball game, just like that. There's no defending this for Quaza. If you move the pawn, then you take the knight. There's no way to move the king away from this pawn. So it's going to be a little bit of an upset there for unique openings. All right, and there you have it. GG's. What a crazy one. So I don't know if it's normal arena scoring. I'm not quite sure. Do they just get their total points added? I don't know. Maybe Wolfram can let me know if he's here, but yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest, but let me talk to RKR and see if we can get a game going. Yeah, I'll probably do a more like official launch of this once once the arena starts and there's hopefully more people in the stream. I'll do like a more in-depth of what the website is. But yeah, this is the website that I just came out with a couple days ago. It's called atomicchesstheory.com. You guys should check it out. There's a whole bunch of different stuff on here, but right now the main feature is that you can play all these different variants in one place, and you can combine them as well. There's rankings for every single one. So say you want to see who the best Atomic 960 player is, there's rankings for that. And like I said, when you're here playing, you can say I want to go Atomic 960 and I want to play Duck Chess and I want to play Valentine. You can do something like that if you want. And then there's also you've got your all-time record here. You've got achievements here. I want to update these, but this is mainly just for like new players so that they can, well, it's for every player, but the leaderboards, obviously there can only be certain players that are going to be number 1 and number 2, whatever. And so the idea behind the achievements is that it's things that everybody can earn. So, this one is one that would be a little bit harder for some players to earn, um, but yeah, in general, just something that every player will have a chance to earn. You can see what percentage of people on the site have earned each one. And then you've also got your trophy case up here. The crown means you're number 1 in the world. This is top 10. If you hover over, top 3. If you hover over it, it says what it is. So top 3, top 10, and there's top 50, and I think there's top 100 as well. We don't have enough players on the site yet, so I don't know for sure, but I think there's a top 100 trophy as well. So that's the trophy case, and then for tournaments, your medals just live down here, so you can see some recent tournaments. Again, because I'm trying to keep the space on the website to a minimum. Oh, he wants to play casual. Ugh. I'm only doing like the last 10 tournaments and the last 50 games. I want to put some rating points on the line, bro. But anyway, that's the profile section. And there's some other stuff on the website. Like I said, I'll probably go over it more. Probably go over it more once the tournament starts in about 30 minutes. If you haven't gotten on here yet, you absolutely should. All you have to do to join the tournament is to just log in with your Lichess account. It's as simple as that. And then you'll be on the website. All right, here we go. Everybody likes Wolf Random. No offense. It's not my favorite variant. I still think it's a lot of fun. But one of the things that I love about normal atomic chess is the preparation. And I think that's what excites me about some of these new variants that are coming out, like Duck Chess, Any Capture, Valentine, that sort of stuff. I want to like kind of create some preparation for some of those, which might be pretty hard considering there's no engines, but who knows, maybe I could try to start to develop my own engine for it. But I tend to just really enjoy the preparation side of Atomic, so maybe that's why I don't like Wolf Random as much. But okay, looking at f3, bishop c5, and then something like, not this. Bishop b5, c6 takes, queen b6, bishop e3, and then if there's takes, there's queen d7. So instead we'd see something like d4 in that position. It's tough to evaluate who's better there. Also, b4 probably makes a lot of sense, just cutting off any bishop c5 ideas. That's probably the best way to handle this. A lot safer. Let me post my stream into my Discord server here. All right, f5. Already, I don't love my position here, but I don't know where I went wrong. What's up, Teos, by the way? I hope that's how you say that. Why are you so shocked, bro? I'm shocked that I can wake up this early, bro, and still be functioning. By the way, do you guys like the light mode better or the dark mode? I really normally like dark modes of websites, but I think the dark mode of this website is ugly. I probably need to fix it. So I've been rocking the light mode. Okay. This seems good. Like if bishop c5, there's going to be takes. Queen b6 is never going to work. I'll have bishop b5 and queen a4 ideas, and even bishop e3 ideas. That move does make some sense. However, I think I can just go bishop a3 here. Okay, I want to go b6, cutting off the queen, but then there's bishop c5. I'm trying to decide how big of a threat that is. I don't think it's great for me. It stops any chance of castling, but really I don't know if I want to castle anyway. This is going to be a tough game to castle here. So let's go for this. I want to go here, g6 takes, h5, knight g5, something like that. Oh. I don't know how I missed that. Dark mode. Does it hurt your eyes being on light mode? I guess it is pretty bright. But I mean, I just don't love the look of this, honestly. I really don't. I can see how this is easier on the eyes. Like on Lichess, I love Lichess's dark mode. Yeah, I never want to. How do you see it? Like, ugh, that is ugly to me. The dark mode's where it's at, but I guess I'll rock with dark mode for now. I just don't love it. I may switch back. I honestly think the light mode on my website looks pretty good. The board looks a lot better. I think that's the main thing. I hate the board on dark mode. This just looks so much better to me. But maybe early in the morning, you guys don't want you don't want to be blinded by the light. Okay, so here he is going for this queen b3, bishop c4 stuff again. If c6 takes and he wants to hop onto this diagonal here, yeah, you're on a TV. How are you chatting if you're watching on a big TV, bro? It takes forever to chat on a TV. I think I'll go knight a6 here. I'm trying to remember how the last game went, but now if takes, I at least have knight b5 for some counterplay. Okay. You've convinced me, Teos. I think I'll rock with dark mode for now. I appreciate it. Okay, does still take. Allowing knight to b5. Surely, what's his plans? Okay, knight b5. There's no, or knight b4. There's no queen b3 because of takes, so it's got to be bishop c4. Then, like at the very least, I would have this. TV on PC. I gotcha. Well, let's just go ahead and go for this. If bishop c4. I could also go here, king f1. But it doesn't actually work too well, because after king f1, bishop e6, he can actually just take here. So I think it's got to be knight d3, and after it takes, maybe something like e4. And at least we shouldn't be losing to the same queen b3 idea that we had in the last game, because now bishop e6 is open for us. Not good. I think I'm just lost, though. I don't have anything better than this. Well, it's just mate, though, no matter what. But see, if I drop back bishop e6, then there's still bishop d6. Dang, he got me here. That's why he's the best wolf random player in the world, according to my website. All right, well played. I'm going to send him a challenge or something else. I apparently suck at wolf random. Let me see if he wants to play Valentine or something. And if anybody else watching wants to play, I'm happy to play some games against you guys as well. Okay, sweet. He did accept it. I kind of botched that explanation just then. Okay. Knight c3 is the book in this variant. If you guys have never heard of Valentine Atomic before, basically what it is, well, I kind of want to show you guys something cool here. Valentine Atomic Chess. What? Why am I on Yahoo, bro? Okay, never mind. I guess I don't want to show you something cool. If you search it up on Google, I'm the highest ranked search for that. That's insane. Wait, so is the prep to just take here, I guess? Because I'm realizing f4 will just lose to knight f2, so I guess it must be takes here. I don't know why this is the right way to play. I know the queen is not too valuable in a Valentine, because basically your queen can't move away from your king, but it is allowed to capture. So it's allowed to sacrifice itself, but I couldn't have just like gone to g4 if there was no knight there. In the same way, the king can't move anywhere that's not next to the queen, because it's Valentine. They're madly in love with each other. So once you sacrifice your queen, your king basically cannot move for the entire game. The only way that you possibly could is if you promoted to a queen and then moved that back next to your king, but that would really never happen. I thought I got rid of Yahoo, bro. How does Yahoo get away with doing this, by the way? They always are changing themselves to people's default browsers now. Check it, bro. We're the best place to play Valentine Atomic Chess. Okay. Let's lock in here though. It goes f6. I think knight c3, e4 is the right way to play, although maybe I should have gone f3 instead of e4. I'm trying to decide here what to do. I think I'll go here because it's threatening this and this. And again, with the queen being immobile, I don't have to worry about that. If you guys are just now joining the stream, the the any capture arena starts in 18 minutes. So do go and join that for sure. That is the arena where you can take your own pieces, which is a big deal in Atomic because taking your own pieces can create explosions. So for instance, if my opponent's queen was, say I push this pawn and my opponent's queen was right here, I could take on g2 and explode their queen. So lots of fun possibilities in that variant. So make sure to come and join if you haven't already. Okay, now I'm going to go here. He's got to take because he cannot move. The only way that he can move his king is to go king e7, which he does. That's very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take here. Likely to see d5, I think. The reason I take is I want to get knight d5 in, really. Okay, wow, just allowing this. I think I have to go for this. Because the queen is not too valuable anyway. And this stops him from ever getting d5 in, which would have been great to get his bishop out and to get more room here. And I want to start with bishop to b5, forcing out knight to c6. And now there's no b5, b4, so bishop a3 looks pretty promising. And again, these pieces are pretty immobile, so any kind of attack that I get on the king is pretty tough to stop in this variant. For instance, after bishop e3, knight c7, I think it's just mate. Because you can't take here, I have bishop takes d7, and you can't move your king here because of my bishop. And you can't move your king here because it's away from the queen. So I think bishop a3, knight c7 is winning. So let's see what he's got here. This is going to be too slow. Okay, it goes for d6 instead. But again, I think this is just losing because you can't move your king here or here. All right, and we got him there. Let's see if he wants to go one more. All right, here we go. Let's see if he goes with the book move knight c3. Okay, and I think knight f6 is right. I think knight f6 is the right move. And now maybe it's f3 that you're supposed to play. Okay, but no, goes for e4 again. Let's go for this, I guess. This is what he played. So I'm just going to copy him. And I guess I'll go c6. Let's see. You know, I don't think it was all of those moves were forced. Like knight f3, obviously f6 is the right move. But there's also e5 here as well if I want to. Maybe I'll just go e5 to get a new position. And this seems pretty equal. I mean, it doesn't seem like he has too much of an edge, I don't think. Because both of our kings will be immobile. And so now the goal becomes I want to get rooks on these files and attack his king. Oh, how is he just already? How did he figure that out, bro? Dude, this guy is so smart. Oh, it's so annoying, dude. It's so annoying. Okay. Let's see if anybody else wants to play something as well. I mean, I'm happy to keep playing against him, but I need to update this. Because with Duck, you need way more, increment. Like, honestly, 3+5 or 5+5 is better. So after this tournament, I think I'm going to update a lot of this stuff. Let's see. We've got 5 people in the tournament right now. Hopefully some more people will join closer too. Oh, I just took my challenge away. I want to watch them, but I think if I'm watching them while I have my challenge out, it might take it away. And also, potentially auto takes challenges away at times, I think. But oh well. Oh, here we go. All right, hopping in against Zacapiller. Let's go. Zacapiller, I guess, woke up in time for the tournament. Okay. Goes for duck at e5, which is honestly a good move because normally you like to go e5 plus duck at g5. So now I'm going to have to go f6. I think I'll just block his e-pawn. Pushing the e-pawn is pretty nice. And then after the e-pawn is pushed, you normally like to put the duck on e2. To block the queen and the bishop there. I've noticed that's kind of the meta in this variant. Surely you guys have played duck chess before, so this is just duck chess, but in atomic. So okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm not too concerned about like knight g5 stuff, because I can always take and put the duck on d2, blocking this bishop from coming out. So it's really not too concerning. I'm just trying to grab a bit more space here. Oh. Yeah, I don't see your messages at all, Zach. I do apologize. If he still had this pawn on d2, this would just be simply mate, because you make a move, then you have to move the duck away, and then I just take on d2. But since the pawn is gone, you can now put the duck on d2 instead. Hopefully it's not a problem with the stream. Hopefully it's a problem with Zach. I hope the stream is working okay. Oh, okay. You had to put the duck on d2 there to survive. Yeah, pieces cannot move through the duck at all. Okay, let's start with e3, and I'm going to put the duck on e2. I've actually never played this way before, but I just had this idea. Normally I like to start with e3 or e4, but then I'll put the duck like on f6 or e6 or something to block my opponent. But this way allows me. Okay, it's already just me. I'm sorry, Zach. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is why I love this variant, because most people think that duck chess is such a like a boring, slow variant, which it is in normal chess, but in atomic, there's actually a lot of attacking chances with the duck as well. Like this, for instance, like obviously this would normally never be a way to just mate your opponent, but in duck atomic, hold it, can you not just play here and here though? Actually, so maybe he's not screwed. Why can't he just go d5 and duck at d7? He probably could have survived there, no? I'm kind of stupid. I think he could have just gone d5 and duck at d7. This whole time I thought this was forced mate, but I don't think it is, actually. Because you make your move first before you move the duck. But actually, I think it's winning either way, because then I could have gone queen h5, duck at g6. We may have cracked the code to duck atomic chess here, y'all. I'm like the only one that's played it substantially. Yeah, no one else has played more than 3 games. I really enjoy it, though. I think it's a lot of fun. All right, if anybody else wants to play a game before the tournament, just send me a challenge or put an offer out in the lobby here. Again, it's atomicchesstheory.com. And yeah, we've just been playing one variant at a time, but you could also combine a whole bunch like this if you wanted to, which would be absolutely insane. To be honest, my favorite variant is any capture, which is what the arena is going to be. And it's also the first one that I've hit 1700 on this website. And I think it's probably my best one as well. I think right now a lot of players are still learning for the first time some of these variants, and so they're losing to some pretty simple stuff. And in any capture, there's so many fun tricks that you can use. Let me see if I can pull up one of my games here. I think it was this one right here. Yeah. Here's one of my favorite. So you can see you play this kind of stuff, because if I go knight b5, there's just takes, which I still don't know. Like, maybe just want to keep an eye out. If you do want to play against me, it's probably best to send me a challenge, by the way, because then it'll pop up in my inbox over here. I'm still trying to figure out, like, in this type of position, is it worth it to go knight b5, make them sacrifice 2 pawns for your knight? I don't know, but regardless, this is still a fortress. And, like, honestly, having a pawn chain, say, like this, I could show you another game with an example of this, where going knight b5 followed by knight c7 is actually not that big of a threat, because there's just going to be b takes c6 there, exploding the knight. And because the explosion happens on that square, it's not going to explode any of black's pieces back here. It's only going to explode this square and then a 1 tile radius. So, but regardless, normally against knight a3, you don't see this move. Now, honestly, I think b5 is better here anyway, because you could continue with c6. But whatever. This is still a defensive mechanism, and I've used it myself for sure. So generally in this variant, I just like to build a whole bunch of pawn chains. Here he made a blunder, which somehow the computer is able to recognize that. Actually, I kind of set this up with bishop e2, setting up this bishop takes h5 thing, but I also thought maybe my opponent, this is bg by the way, would think, oh, like now there's lots of opportunities to infiltrate here. But as you can see, after you go knight to e4, if you don't do anything, it's still tough, because I can play something like this. And now I'm opening up this and this at the same time. So lots of options there. But knight e4 is definitely a blunder because now after bishop takes d8, no matter how you infiltrate here, I can either take on c3 to explode the knight, or I can take on f3 to explode the knight. I will accept this in just 1 second. But then, yeah. So here, queen takes h5 is probably not the best move, but I did want to play this tactic that I thought he'd fall for. So honestly, here, once again, you can see like infiltrating behind the lines here, just not that big of a deal. King f7 probably would have been okay, followed by like h7, rook h8. Like maybe he could have survived this, although I still like my position. But he just goes king h7, which is a natural move. And then, yeah, rook takes h6. That's one of my favorite ways to win in this variant. Okay, looks like we can play one more game here before the arena starts. So we're going to play against, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, B drill. I'll just say that. Wants to play some casual duck atomic chess, and I respect it. All right, I'm going to go here. The reason being is, say you want to get knight b5 in, well, then there's actually just going to be forced mate for me. Actually, technically not forced mate. If you go knight b5, duck at e4, I go knight g4, duck wherever, then you go f4 and duck at f2. But it's definitely an unpleasant position for you, I do believe. Obviously knight d5, I can just take it. Yeah, and that's what we'll likely end up seeing here. But yeah, basically he had to decide is he want to go for, he couldn't go for knight to b5 and cover up both of these squares. So that's why I put it here, so that just stopping any f3 ideas. Now I have to take it, and I'll just put it on e3, and I feel okay here. Trading off knights like that should be fine. Stops my f pawn, so instead I'll go e5 and duck at g5. And yeah, this is a bit flawed because if we get into an endgame, it's going to be flag city because it is so hard to move quickly. It looks like Wolfram and Quasar are playing just some normal. What are they doing? It's not even Wolf Random. Okay. Let's do this. Probably g6 next as well. Thing is, it's not the end of the world if we get knight g5 in, because I can always start putting the duck on f7, but you don't necessarily want to be forced to be putting the duck at spots, and oof, this is why. So I've got to do this to defend. But now it gets real scary because now you go knight g5, putting the duck over here, and now I always have to be moving the duck over here to defend. Or I guess maybe I could play, but yeah, if you put it here, I can never get in the way here. I'd have to go like a6, duck here, but then it's just going to be too much. It's going to be way too much. So I might be getting absolutely destroyed here. And oh boy, the tournament is starting very soon here. I don't want to be late to the tournament, but that's okay. Okay, we do get knight at g5 here. Oh, but this doesn't make too much sense. Oh, I can't take back. It really doesn't make too much sense because I'm allowing c3 here. So it's just forcing out one move. I would have liked to have done this on a move where I could also put the duck here. Yeah, just c3. Okay, at least I'm stopping queen h5 ideas, which could have been really rough. If you had gone queen h5 and like duck at f6, there's no way to stop both of these threats since I can't take. I mean, maybe there would have been, I don't know. Okay, now this is tricky because he can just take here now as well, which is not fun. I think I might be royally screwed here. Yeah, I don't love this move that I played, but maybe I had to. Like, I was kind of getting destroyed either way. So now my best chance is just to flag him, honestly. Sad as it is. But now it's to the point where it's honestly kind of tough to get an attack because a lot of pieces are off the board here, and neither of our kings are in too much danger. it's going to be tough to generate a big attack. So we shall see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to briefly leave so I don't get paired. Okay. Just making some announcements about the tournament. Okay. Honestly, he's probably got me here. I'm just going to go ahead and resign so I can get into the tournament real quick. I don't want to miss a single game. Here we go. Only 6 people right now, but hopefully some more people will join. It looks like Zach is in here, so maybe we'll get paired against him for the first game. And, okay, no, we go against unique openings instead. So let's start with E4. Again, this is any capture. This is the one where you can capture your own pieces, which is quite a big deal in atomic chess, considering you can create your own explosions. So normally I like to create lots of pawn chains, but also I think controlling the center should be okay here as well. Look at this. We've got a little French defense here. I like E5. Because it's just a bigger pawn chain, so it's still able to defend against this. Maybe he won't see it. Okay, he probably did. Let's go F3. Not too worried about knight F6. I could always just take it, honestly. Or maybe there's even some better tactics. Interesting. Does go for this. Allowing like G4 stuff. I'm also looking at bishop H6, 94. Takes. It's a little scary. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Maybe I just go for something like this. Although it does allow bishop b4 this. Okay, but I think I'm okay with this. Takes queen a4, b5, queen a3, b4, queen a4, c6, queen a5. I think I would have had mate there one way or the other. Or at least I'm willing to sacrifice a pawn for some kind of activity here. Okay. That's not fun. I think I gotta do this. The thing is, I could go something like c3 and after queen c7 go takes, but that's just a lot to sacrifice for a queen, where in this variant, the queen is a little bit less valuable anyway, simply because... Okay, now this is nice, because if here... Well, I guess I have to take, but if here, I can take here, which is beautiful. Oh, wait, and actually, either one of these squares I can just take. Oh, yes. That's so satisfying. But in general, the queen is a little bit less valuable in this variant because it's a lot harder to infiltrate. Here, though, I can go queen g5 and queen a3, and I don't see a good way for him to stop both. I obviously don't want to go queen c5 because that loses to e takes d5 there, but queen a3 and queen g5 both seem to be good threats. Although even here, it's not simple. After c5, even if takes, like this doesn't win because there's takes here. It's actually queen f8 that I'd want to play. So queen f8, there's no captures there. So let's go ahead and do this. You know, I could have also taken here and gone up material. Okay, interesting. Right, so again, I don't have any of these moves because he just can always create explosions here. So queen c3, there's knight c6. Knight c3 does kind of stop knight c6, but also this may be the simplest way forward here. Just going up some material here. I know it's kind of the boring way out, but I am up a rook and a piece here. So we should be able to take him down now pretty handily. Okay, let's do this. I'm happy to trade this knight off and get this rook open here. You could also go bishop c6, but then I'll have something like this, forcing out this. Here, maybe this. I do need to be worried about this tactic of like his rook coming over and taking his pawn here. But if b4, then I think I'm eventually winning this pawn race. Although I guess his bishop covers. I need to be very careful actually, because that bishop can also take this pawn. So if bishop here, I have to draw back with something like knight to b4. It's actually not so simple at all. Okay, I'm going to do this because now after here there's takes. If bishop here, I can take, and then my rook's coming down. So I think I've survived, because if rook here, I'm just coming here. And my other knight's in the game as well, so I should be able to deliver mate with these pieces here. But I want to make sure that the kings can't connect here. So let's start by coming here. Okay, now I should be good, because I can always take this knight here. There was some ideas of under promotion here, d2, and I'm actually just completely screwed. So if he had under promoted here, d2, it would have had to be something. It would have been really weird. So I actually had to pretty much mate him there. I was a little bit worried there for a second. Hopefully I won't get paired against him again. It's supposed to wait like 30 seconds and then pair me. But we'll see what happens here. Okay, it didn't end up pairing us again, and I got white again. I don't think it has logic with that yet. Really, after the arena on Thursday, a couple days ago, I just absolutely did not want to have that happen again. Here, if he tries for this, I can just take my own knight. I was able to fix all the disconnection issues, and so I really haven't messed with anything else with the website just because I wanted to be like 100% sure that everything was working and not try to mess with anything last minute. So unfortunately, there's still some stuff on the arenas that definitely needs quite a bit of work, but at least nobody is randomly disconnecting for no reason, so that's pretty nice. If you had gone here, I don't really want to, I guess I could have taken this way, but my idea was to go f4, and if he tries to infiltrate, I can go here with the tempo. Now I'll still go f4, just building this pawn chain so that I can make these captures. And if you think about it, that's really controlling like all of these squares can be controlled by these pawns, because I can just create as many explosions there as I want to. Okay, looking at knight f3, there's knight. No, let's start with this, and then I want to go knight f3 maybe. Because his knight is blocking the f pawn here, I like, oh, that's unfortunate. He grabbed the knight, and then he tried to grab this pawn. That is super unfortunate. Oh, I could have just gone queen h5 there. That is something that is not... You can deselect pieces when you are holding it. You can just right click and it'll deselect it, just like in lead chess. But if you select it, you can also just hit somewhere on the board, but in any capture, you can't select a piece and then select. I guess maybe what you're saying is you can't hit it twice to deselect, but yeah, it's not touch move. You can select it and then deselect it. But in any capture, that one actually happens on chess.com as well. Where you'll select a piece, then you try to select a different piece that it can take, and then it takes it because you can capture it. That is an unfortunate way to go out, though. Okay, let's get his queen moving here. Goes queen to d6. I mean, this move seems to be the best here. His queen really just can't infiltrate at all because of all these pawns that I have. There's just no way for him to really get his queen in. When you have a nice pawn chain like this, it's going to be really tough for him to do anything with this queen here. So we should be good to go here. And I think after this game, I'll pause momentarily just so that he gets a different opponent, and then we can get some new opponents in here so we're not playing the same guy every time. Like I said, I still need to fix some of the pairings. It does wait to pair you with the player that you just played, so it doesn't want to pair you against that player, but eventually it will if you've been unpaired for too long. But sadly, because the arenas are so short, there's just not enough players in the lobby to, or not short, sorry, because they're still relatively small. It's still a new site, so not as many players on here. Then yeah, it's very easy to continue to get paired against the same player. So let's momentarily leave so that hopefully he can get in here and get paired against somebody else. I'm going to make an announcement on lead chess as well. See if we can get some extra players. Okay, now I can rejoin. Hopefully I'll get in against. Sweet. Now we're switching up opponents a little bit here. Okay, here we go. This is the screen that you guys can see, correct? Correct. Let's go for e3. I think that's my favorite move to play in a lot of these different variants. It's just a nice little move to kind of open up some stuff here. And then let's go with knight to f3. Interesting. Going for f6, going for a pretty defensive line here. Knight d4 stuff doesn't really work here because this c6 here takes queen h5, g6, queen b5, knight c6, queen b6. This rook takes a7. So normal spam doesn't work. It's really such a beautiful variant. Like, I really love this variant so much. I do think more players should be playing it. It is certainly more balanced than... Okay, now we've got some more players in here after I made that announcement. I think we've got a few more players in here. All right, knight to h6. So I could go h3 here and takes. I really don't have any lines like this like I normally would because he could just take here. So trying to see here. I could go knight g5, knight g4, f4, knight f2. Takes, but then after takes, I don't actually think I'm any better there. Okay. Then I'm going to go f3, and then if this, I can go takes. And that's going to open my position up quite a bit. If I'd gone f4, this f-pawn actually gets in the way. But now after knight f2 takes, I actually like my position here. Because after takes, I can go like bishop b5, followed by castles or rook f1 and queen h5 ideas. There's a lot of threats now opening up. Now that this f-pawn is off the board, I think I can launch quite a big attack here. So it does decide to trade off this bishop. That's probably pretty smart. Castles actually does lose because of this here. There's no way for me to really take this pawn. So maybe queen f3, but no, there's still queen h4. So maybe I have to go pawn to h4. or there's queen h5, g6, queen h4, queen f6. Okay, I don't hate this. G6, queen h4. Yeah, this is very hard. It's a tough variant. And this, I think I have king d1. And there's no queen f2 because I could just take. But I do have to play king d1 because queen f1 would have been mate. Although now there's rook f8. But then I can go bishop a3 with a tempo on this. Yeah, I think bishop a3 is my secret sauce here, which means b5 might be a pretty strong move. No, it goes for h6 instead. So let me do this, cutting off rook f8. Maybe he goes b5, but then rook f1, b4 takes, and now I've got an open rook. So I'm feeling okay about this. But I'm really low on time, holy crap. And it's only 1 second increment, so I gotta speed up here. If you're, I'll probably just go ahead and take. It also opens up my queen over here. And I probably want to go bishop e7 as well. It's not actually so easy to remove that bishop where it is. He'll have to do this at some point probably. If you guys are just joining the tournament, make sure you log in with your lead chest. Let's see if we've got a couple guests up in here. If you log in with your lead chest, then you'll actually be able to play on here. Okay, let me go ahead and go d4, just giving some extra wiggle room here. Now I can take his queen. He can't take my queen if I move it here, so I'm optimistic here. And you can throw in bishop e2, king c1. Okay, goes for that instead. Let me attack this, also opening up the queen. Just gotta do this, and then what do I have? Surely I have something there. Oh no, it goes for this instead. Okay. Actually, I don't think that was... This is insane. No. Oh. Dang, GG's. GG's. That was a fun one. That was pretty insane. I cannot lie. That was pretty insane. All right, here we are up against Zacapiller now. Zacapiller is currently in first. Unfortunately, I can't really view the tournament while I'm in it, which is kind of sad. If I try to go view the tournament, it just puts me in a game, but that's okay. Okay, I want to go e5, but I'm just looking. Here takes, here, here. Might not be good. I guess d5 should be a little bit safer. Just to hit any queen ideas coming in here. Yeah, let's do this. I get to open up the H file here, so there's no queen h5 ideas. So that is one of the reasons why I like to play g6, because you're taking away this square for the queen. And with d5 on the board, that means our bishop controls this g4 square. Which really, if I had wanted to, I could have gone bishop g4, f3, then h takes, exploding this knight, but I think it worked out fine the way we did it. I was just continuing to grab space here. I think in this variant, pushing your pawns up can be pretty good because you can create chances like this to explode your opponent's pieces. It's like gaining space is already good, but now it's actually coming with some huge threats where you can make some big explosions that you normally wouldn't be able to make. So yeah, I don't know if I love this though. I was thinking because now after d4, it seems like I've traded off so many pawns just for his knights with not too much to say for it. Maybe there's something like this, forcing out takes. I don't know. It's so tough. I don't know who's better here. I mean, I think I like his position more because he's got all the pawns. But another way to look at it is that I have quite a bit of room in terms of my pieces can see a whole bunch of squares. Like my queen, my rook, and my bishops are very open, whereas his are, a little bit trapped behind his pawns. So who knows? Who knows? Okay, that's a good move. I mean, initially I'm looking at knight g4 takes, bishop g4, f3. This doesn't seem that good. Does not seem that good. Let's go rook g8. The knight's defending this. I don't think there's queen h5 stuff. Just make him do something here. Make him make a decision. Like commit this g pawn to one of these squares. I guess bishop g5 could be pretty good as well. Interesting. Allowing me to take here. His idea is to push. Okay, this just got really tricky. Let's go bishop g4. If takes, I think knight g4, and I should be doing okay. If f3, then at least we've gotten the bishop out of here. Okay, bishop d6, there's e5. This is just insane. I'm going to go for c6, just keeping this, keeping some of these ideas alive, although e5 is really scary now, so maybe I should have gone for the other idea, bishop d6 in here, because now this comes with such a sting, actually. Oof. I could take my own knight to try to alleviate some of the pressure, but it looks pretty hopeless. Whatever, let's go here. Here I'll have to take. And then we'll see what he's got. At least make him finish me off here. I mean, there's some chances for him to screw up here. King f8, there's some queen e7 ideas there. So, I mean, it's not completely hopeless. If he starts with this, then maybe I can go queen f6. Although d7 is pretty much just losing because I can't go king d8 because of takes. Yeah. Guess I could start with king f7 here. That'd be insane. King f7, there's still just d7 though. So let's do this. I mean, it's probably hopeless. But it's also probably the best that we've got at this point in the game. I mean, the queen does defend these squares where you can deliver check. If queen d7, right, queen e5, and I should be doing okay. But I mean, rook d1 here, and yeah, it's tricky. Although it does allow, he should have just gone rook d1, honestly. Castles gives me some outs here. As long as he doesn't flag, he's beating me, but he's running very low on time here. Oh my goodness, bro. He's almost flagging here. With 1 second left, that's insane. Oh my gosh. How did he flag? Was he just lagging pretty bad or what? Because it wasn't the hardest position in the world, to be honest. But okay. GG's. Let's play something else that we haven't played yet. Let's go d4 this time. Let's get a new position. Let's see what we can do here. Still have no idea what the best move to play is in this variant. If you guys are new to the stream, once again, we are over here playing on atomicchesstheory.com. This is a brand new website that I just released a few days ago, and it's got a little bit for everybody. It's got some tutorials and stuff for absolute beginners, and then it's also got variants a whole bunch of different variants that you can't play anywhere else. For instance, Valentine doesn't exist really anywhere except for here, unless both players just agree to it, but there's not an actual Valentine variant. There is Duck and Any Capture on chess.com, but nobody likes chess.com. So, yeah, basically it's a website, all things atomic, and you can combine them as much as you want. There's leaderboards for each one. And also in your profile, there's a whole bunch of different achievements. There's a trophy case based off of what your world rank is. So right now there's not many players on the website, so I'm #1 in the world at a lot of these. But as more and more players continue to play, I'm sure I will start to lose my crowns. But yeah, that is the premise of the website. Right now we are playing some Any Capture Atomic, meaning you can capture not only your opponent's pieces, but your own pieces as well. So after my opponent just played knight c2 check, I took this pawn, which created an explosion here. And that is why his knight just disappeared. This is actually kind of a nice idea, wanting to get bishop b4 in. Let's start with queen a4. This sets up a nice idea here. If I go for knight c7, it's just losing after bishop b4. I can't go king f2 because it takes, and I have no way to get rid of this bishop. After queen a4, it's tricky though, because if c6, I go knight c7, and you can't take here because it's just going to be check. So after c6, knight c7, you have to go queen takes c7 there. And yeah, you can throw that in, but now I've got an escape square with my king here. Even something like king f8 doesn't work great because of, maybe knight d6 with threats of all this. Maybe it does work. But I think we should be winning our opponent's queen here. Yeah, it goes for this. I guess there is still technically king f8 here, so never mind. Not necessarily up a queen. But we do get the infiltrated knight. And it's not easy to take this off, because if you ever do, I can just get my queen in like so. I really want to start launching an attack over here. So let's do this just to open this up for this kind of stuff. Get all these pieces opened up. The queen's already cut off over here. There's not much progress I can make. I could have gone for e4, but I mean, it's actually not adding too much to the attack over here. So instead, just taking here, getting rid of these two pawns and this bishop to really open things up. And if he takes here, then knight f3 blocks off his queen pretty nicely and opens up the way for rook g1 on this g file here. So seem to be doing okay, and he's really struggling on the clock, which makes sense. This is a tough variant. I'm tempted to still go knight f3, and after here, just go takes. Just like really opening stuff up. I think I'm going to do it. I want to just get as much activity on the king side right now as possible, with this knight potentially coming in as well. If takes, it's also opening up the f file as well. Which maybe I'll throw in h4. I'm not sure yet. Not sure how I want to go about this. Let's throw in h4. I mean, there's no queen f6 here because of take, so this is blocking off queen g5 and queen h4. Now looking at ideas of, oh, wait. No, this does work, actually. I have to come here. Yeah, if I'd gone here, there's rook e8, which wasn't technically losing because I have some rook f1 ideas, but it's a little bit trickier now. The f file is the only open file. And I should be able to eventually get it from him. I can actually make this move, which is kind of annoying to deal with, because if you come here, I can, let's think about this. I guess I have to do this. But essentially he's going to have to waste a move taking this. So he doesn't have as much time to get this out like so. Let's go here. It's probably going to go bishop e1. I'm just trying to decide what to do after that. Okay, no, it goes bishop d2 instead. That's interesting. Gotta move your bishop here. Instead, he just flags. It calls it a blunder. What should I have done instead here? I'm not on the analysis board, so I can't see, but that is pretty strange. That is pretty strange. Okay, I kind of want to pause just so I can get a new opponent here once again. We got a decent amount of players in. I don't know if this goes on infinitely or what here, but also some other things that I'm going to eventually add to the website, like just like in League Chess, like if you click on someone, you should be able to see all the games that they've played for that exact tournament. How's it buggy? I think sometimes you accidentally capture your own piece because you touch your piece and then you touch another one of your pieces. I've done it before, so I understand that, but I'm not sure how exactly it's buggy. At least compared to other stuff on the website, it should work just like the other variants on the website for the most part. So I'm not too sure. So I mean, yeah, even Queen D8, Queen D7 stuff could lose to Rook C8, or not lose, but always got to be careful. Queen D6 actually and Queen D7 would actually probably lose to F takes E6. You always got to be looking out for that kind of stuff. You generally don't want to get too close to your opponent's pieces in this variant. Okay, looks like he did end up resigning though. All right, so we are currently in first place here. We did lose one game, so I haven't gotten any points from a streak yet. So maybe we can make that happen. But going up against Ackley, who is a very strong player in his own right, so we shall see. All right, just talking to Rax here. Okay, here we go. Hopping into one here. Let's go for this. If here, I'll probably just go F6, I think. And I guess you can take here. But I always just like to play different openings here. We're all still trying to figure out how to play this variant, to be honest. Yeah, maybe this is bad because I'm just giving him a lot of free material for no reason. I was thinking I could go F5, but then there's like E3 or H4 stuff, and it gets a little ugly, so I didn't really want to go for that. This may not be good after Queen G4. Queen G4, I could actually go D5, maybe. Ah, no, it's just Queen takes C8. I think his plan here is to do something like Bishop H6. Bishop H6 takes Queen G4, F5 here, and it's pretty much all force. I don't see how I can really stop a queen trade here. Like, I can't move my queen to any of these squares. Can't really go King F7, so yeah, I've got to take here, sadly. And now after Bishop H6, this whole knight situation over here is feeling a lot less powerful than it once was. Because, I mean, after it takes, there's A3, and I'm still just going to be down a buttload of material. So, I low-key think I'm taking the L here as well, which is quite sad. What is he trying to say? He's trying to say you click a piece. Yeah, I see. I guess some people are used to just clicking the piece again, but okay. Let's see here. Actually, that's too low. There's d5. None of this is great. Let's go for this, opening up the bishop, I guess. Oh crap, I'm at 23 seconds. I've been talking to people on Discord too much and not focusing on the game enough. I mean, maybe if I can roll one of these pawns down, could be the move. I honestly didn't mean to drop that. Yeah. It's tough though. I want to get d5, but then e6 is just not a fun move to see after that. I am threatening some sort of bishop b7 here. Let's go for it. If he goes here, I can take here at least. I don't know why I didn't just start with b5 though. That would have been better, honestly. Oh yeah, I don't want to get my king in the way of that. Okay, h5, bishop d5 takes. No, it's actually so slow. Why b4? What's the point of this? I'm just allowing this move, sadly. Oh wait, I can take this though. Giving me some hope, potentially, maybe, probably not. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to recover this, sadly. Yo, what is up, Math Mage 420? How's it going? We are playing some any capture atomic right now. I'm getting my butt handed to me. Holy crap, Kevin Lell. Who is this, bro? One thing that you can do on the website is you go to somebody's profile and you can quickly see their lead chess from their profile. So this guy's a 1900 in atomic. So how is he low-key insane at this variant low-key? Let's go for Farmer's Gambit, why not? Program up anti-atomic chess. Yeah, you should do it, or I have also considered adding it to this website as well. This website is just a few days old. Well, it's been out for a little bit, but I just kind of released it live a few days ago. So yeah, I've considered adding anti-atomic to the to the variants that are on here. So, but yeah, if were you meaning like making it yourself, or what did you mean by that? If so, I think that'd be dope. Here's the thing. I think that I don't care if, well, I would love for people to play on atomicchesstheory.com, but when it really boils down to it, the whole reason behind the YouTube channel, behind Atomic Theory in general, is simply just to increase the amount of players that play atomic chess, and hopefully to the players that do play atomic chess to bring them some value. But genuinely, like, if you go back and watch my first video, like, that's exactly what I've said. And I feel like the vision hasn't changed at all. If anything, it's grown. Like, people that I've talked to that tell me, like, oh, hey, I started playing atomic chess because of you. Like, that means way more to me than any kind of subscriber count. Like, when I wake up in the morning and I've gained 5 subscribers one day, which is a lot for me, it's like, that doesn't mean as much to me as, bro, JSF Atomic Theory wife in the chat. What's up, bro? She said use his website and subscribe. Hey, you gotta listen to her, bro. Her words, not mine. Thank you, honey. But yeah, I feel like that vision hasn't changed. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, we're all just playing a a stupid game, that's if people don't want to play atomic chess, it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world, but it does make me super happy. I do love the game, and I want there to be more players that are playing, and so that is the whole reason for atomicchesstheory.com as well, is um to give atomic players more, just more options on what to play. A lot of players complain about atomic that it gets stale, right? You face the same opening 20 times in a row, maybe. And while it is beatable, it may feel kind of crushing, like if you're losing to worse players that are just spamming two knights or knight f3, e3, or whatever against you. But I personally think atomic is great. Like, it's a fast-paced version of chess that's very tactical, very sharp. um, it can swing in an instant, right? Like, you can be up a queen and still lose, which doesn't really happen at the top level of normal standard chess. So I think it's a great variant of chess. Like, I just genuinely just think it's a lot of fun. That's the whole reason why I started up the channel. So, um, all that to say, the website, like, I obviously want people to do it, but I also will always encourage people to make their own websites, their own YouTube channels. Like, I encouraged Maxwell to make his YouTube channel that he was able to grow a little bit, simply because I don't really see it as competition. I see it more as, hey, let's help each other grow the sport of atomic chess. And so far, I feel like we've been able to do that okay. And so, yeah, I want to continue to keep trying to grow it and see where it takes us. But okay, we should be able to take down Kevin here. We're up a couple pawns. So I don't think he's coming back from this one. Let's say, started playing atomic chess because everyone in the anti-tournament was paused and there was an atomic tournament happening that I checked out. That's funny. How long ago was that? That's a crazy origin story there. Man, why are all these people leaving, bro? It's just getting going. There's still 17 minutes left in the tournament. There's tournament coins on the line, guys. If I've ever gotten into so I was talking to somebody a few years back, and they can't remember who it was, but it was somebody that was, I want to say, strong at atomic and anti. It may have been Nas. I don't remember. It was somebody in the atomic community that I was talking to, and they said, they told me that they had aspirations to hit 24 a week ago. Oh wow. They told me that they had aspirations to reach 2400 in atomic, and once they did that, that their goal was to then, oh, is Zach going for his little trappy opening here? I don't know if I want to play into his prep here. I'm just going to play something weird. That after they hit 2400 in atomic, they would then focus on anti and try to hit 2400 in anti. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm going to try to do that too. So after I hit 2400 in atomic, I was like, all right, now I'm going to go for 2400 in anti. Well, that lasted about like 2 weeks. And then after that, I was like, okay, this variant is ridiculously boring. I will be the first to admit that anti does require more skill than atomic. I just can't do it. It's just so boring to me, and I don't know why. But I legitimately just hate anti. So that's pretty much the existence of my anti-chess career. Yeah, I do think it requires a lot of skill. I do think there's a lot of calculation. I know like it's technically a guaranteed win for white, like it's solved. That is one thing, that anti is technically solved, whereas atomic's not. But if I understand correctly, I do think anti is more evenly split between white wins and black wins, whereas atomic very heavily favors white. Like, at the top level, I would say around 70% of games, 70% of like games where both players are, like, say, serious tournament games, I'd say go in white's favor. Say you gotta play openings that aren't e3. If you're talking about anti, yeah, I don't know what it is with anti. It wasn't the repetitiveness at all, trust me, because atomic is way more repetitive than anti. It was just, I honestly just wasn't that good at it, to be honest. That's probably the main reason why it was boring. I do think that people that are into it, um, I don't I think that's great. Like I don't think it's a bad variant objectively. It's just not my cup of tea. And I really can't explain why. Here he could have gone f3, creating this pawn chain, because now this does allow me to go in with knight f2. If he'd gone f3, then he kind of creates this pawn chain. It's hard to break through. E3 is mate in 79, which no human would ever be able to convert 100%. I agree, but the only counterpoint I have to that is that it does mean, well, that's not really even a counterpoint, but I know there's people in Atomic that have been caught cheating, like using engines and stuff. And I've always thought like using an engine and anti would be way. Even Nas said it. I think that's what Nas said during his, because he used an engine for anti chess, and he was like, yeah, you can just be in a completely losing position, and then just flip on the engine. You can always win. But yeah, I guess it wouldn't matter. I mean, someone that's using an engine is gonna cheat anyway and beat you anyway. So I don't know why it really matters, to be honest. I think I'll go g6. I just don't really want to allow him to get this pawn here. You said you beat I don't know and Leon already. I don't know who Leon is, but I think I know. I don't know. What's your username on Lichess? I'm curious now. Just played a bunch for the first time. It's nice. Hey, cool. Teos, what's your name on Lichess as well? I don't think I know you. Okay, gonna try to hop back here and get this. Oh wait, I just have mate here. What am I doing? I can go back in the game, but I literally just have mate here. I'm so silly. I just forgot that these kinds of tactics exist for some reason. Nerdy. Well, Nerdy, you should join the tournament. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I didn't see that at first. I had that for so long, too. Yeah, 4 moves in a row, and the computer saw it minus 10,000 or something. Okay, let's get paired against Octoposh, please. Oh wait, he's not in here, so I'm gonna pause so I don't go against Zach again. Just trying to get new opponents. Like I said, that'll be fixed in the future, but for now, I kind of have to do that to just continue to get new opponents. Let's check out this game. It is a pretty close race here for first place. Looks like we got 4 players here that are still playing. At least 4 players. And looks like RKR bowed out though. He chickened out a little bit. Okay, I guess I'll rejoin and get in against Zach. The only thing I don't like about this variant is that I feel like there's not a clear great opening to play from the white side, but that's okay. It says I hyper-focused on anti since October, so Atomic is a nice change of pace. It plays more like normal chess than anti with being able to checkmate and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like the closest ones to normal chess are going to be 3 check and King of the Hill. King of the Hill is it's the closest one to normal chess, but yeah, Atomic is probably closer than anti, I guess. That makes sense. Yeah, so here's a situation where I don't think this is a good move, sacking the knight for 2 pawns. It's also just going to open up his position quite a bit. So instead, let's go e3. And I do think that this could be good, but not in this position where it's really just helping his position quite a bit. I don't think it's the right way to play. as always, in atomic, more likely to want to play g4 once this f6 pawn has been pushed, so that the queen really doesn't have any chance of getting out here. Or if so, it's going to take a while. He could take here, but then he has to sack 2 pawns, so yeah, he just goes for the bishop instead. It's probably smart, probably smart. I will say, a hyper anti-chess sounds absolutely ridiculous. You can load custom rules into fairy stockfish and run engine analysis. I'm not sure I understand. I think that you mean like you can create an engine for any variant or what? I'm curious which one you prefer, atomic or anti, because I feel like most players, the one that they're used to, they prefer, but I also just think atomic is really fun. So maybe it's the case that once people start playing atomic, then they realize how much fun it actually is. Yo, what's up, Genius Ken? How's it going, bro? I would love to play against you. I'm currently in a tournament on atomicchesstheory.com, which you should totally join. And then after this, I'll have about 10 minutes, and then I've got a match against Natso in the 2026 Atomic Openings Championship. It'll be the semifinals of that tournament, and I'm going to live stream it. So feel free to stick around, but I will have 10 minutes. The tournament ends in about 8 minutes, and then I'll have about a 10-minute break before I go against Natso. So I could potentially sneak in a game. You want to play Atomic or Standard, or what are you thinking? Oh, custom variants. Ah, good to know. Yeah, I use some kind of stockfish on this website for like any capture and that kind of stuff, but I don't really know. It's not really that good, to be honest. I'll just put it that way. Especially like for duck and that kind of stuff. With duck atomic chess, like there's just so many moving parts. I don't even know how. What is RKR saying, bro? That's 2 IQ. All right, bishop h3. There's knight g4 takes castles. Something like bishop e6, king h8 here seems to be good because it's also opening up this line potentially. Although I will say takes castles here, king h8 here. There is queen f6. So maybe I don't want to go for it. Yeah, let's just castle then. Going ahead and getting on this file here. You could go knight h2, but then king h1. You can't take yet because then there's like bishop d7 stuff probably. I wanted to do this, but there's something like queen d6 or queen e7 that just stops it, I think. So otherwise, I totally would go for this idea. That's why I liked the idea of takes, because it's opening up queen c1 with multi-threat here, but I just don't think it worked because castles, bishop e6, king h8, bishop f7, queen f6. And there's actually just really not a good way to defend against the queen coming in here. So, but this decision time for him, I'm now threatening this with the bishop coming in, the rook coming in. So yeah, we may see castles. Now I'll go queen c1, hitting this. So I'm kind of keeping my intentions a little bit unknown here. You can take here if you want. But see, now I'm not forced to take here anymore. Okay, does indeed take. Wow, I've got queen g1 ideas as well. Lots of ideas. Okay, this is really what I want to play. Let's go for this, because actually this seems to be good, because after here I can go bishop e6 takes, so maybe queen e7 and then takes. And I think I'm up material there. Yeah, I'm gonna put just a bishop there. All the pawns are equal. So this should be good for me, unless I'm missing some crazy capture that he can do. Yeah, that's probably smart. But he's gonna have to take this eventually. He can go rook f7, but after queen e8, he has to take this, because if here I just go here, I think. Yep. Don't think it matters too much which way I go. I want to force him to push this pawn so I can push mine. Don't really want to allow him to be able to take here. But he's going to be too slow because I'll be able to pin his rook against his king if he does try to go for this. All right. We get the job done barely there. We will take it. Looks like he got paired against Kevin, so we're going to have to wait. Sadly, Octoposh is just spectating right now. See how this game is going. So I'm currently in first place. Actly is also on a streak here. And seems to be probably winning after. You can play D67 or E67, I guess. Just E6 should be completely winning because once you get E7, you can just take it. A lot of players don't realize that they have these types of tactics. But yeah, E6 is just completely winning. Well, now he's just going to find it. Oh, but he blocked the bishop successfully. Although I don't see how. Yeah, you got to go E7. He's just not thinking about it. Not thinking about it at all. Now he sees it. Dude, you gotta take your... Neither player is thinking about the fact that the bishop takes e7 is completely winning. Oh, it's so funny. I mean, without this... Oh my gosh, this is insane. It's actually gonna just be a draw. Oh my goodness, this is a draw. He was totally winning for white. I'm gonna tell him. What is my name, bro? Let me see if I can get back to the tournament before this game starts. Ah! Keeps getting me into this. Whatever. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go f6. I think that's the best move here. I could also take this way to get a lot of activity, but then there's just e3 and I don't know. Okay. Let's go d5. Maybe some knight a6 stuff here. Oh yeah, this is shaping up to be pretty good. We got, oh crap, like 2 more minutes in this tournament. I don't actually know how the how it works if this game finishes after the tournament is already over. I have no idea. We're about to find out if this game will count or not. I don't know how it's programmed, sadly. Okay, I think I want to go king to h8, opening up this knight so that it's no longer pinned against my rook. I think I'm winning here. After he pushes h pawn, I go here, takes, and rook f2. I think we went like this whole game without capturing our own pieces at all. It's kind of insane. It does come with check. It does indeed. Oh, here we go. That's beautiful, though. That's a nice one to end on there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave the tournament so I don't get repaired. And it looks like we are going to be able to take this one home here. Even if Ackley and Zacapiller win their last games here, no one is going to get enough points to catch me. All right, so we were able to take it down. I'm curious to see what happens with these games, though. Let me watch one real quick before I... Hey, Genius Ken, bro, if you're still there, I'm down to do something. I am probably going to take a bathroom break real quick, but after that... Yeah, you've also got achievements down here. What is my name, bro? Okay, let's look at both of these games. So this one just started. Kevin's really thinking here, bro. Okay, looks like it does. Oh, and actually one as well. Okay, looks like you do get points after the tournament. That's how. That's how chess.com does it. All right, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I will be right back, and then we will be up against Natso shortly. All right. Let's see here. What shall we do for 10 minutes while we wait? Thanks everyone for coming out to the tournament. Yeah, after I get done with the stream, I will pay everybody the tournament coins that they are earned, so long as you are in the Discord server. So if you haven't joined yet, make sure to go and do that. But we are playing against Natso in the 2026 Atomic Openings Championship. Let me see if I can pull up the bracket for you guys real quick. We've got so many tabs open, or windows open. Here we go. So this is the tournament that I am running, in which the rules are that. Well, I guess I'll go over how you qualify first. So the qualifiers were the 2025 Lee Chess Atomic World Champion, which was Natso, and then the 2026 Chess.com Champion, which was Wolfram, and then the 2026 Atomic 960 winner, which was Leisha, who declined. So Quasibianth got the invite. And then there were 5 arena tournaments hosted that were won by first RK Grounded, and then Actly, myself, Maracker, and Study B. I think Maracker was maybe second place and Max declined, something like that. Can't remember. Maybe same thing for Study. He got second and won. Ended up making it because somebody declined or was cheating or something like that. But if you accepted your invitation, you will earn 10 tournament coins, once again assuming that you are in the Discord server. And then also top 3 will get Lee Chess patron wings for a month, plus some tournament coins. There's also in the Discord server, there's some where does it say? I think it's here. Yeah. There is an award if you, or a title on the Discord server rather, if you win the Atomic Openings Championship, if you earn the most tournament coins in a year, and then also you get rolls for first, second, or third, and you also get the Atomic Theorist roll if you've earned 100 tournament coins total. So what it'll look like is you could be an AOC champion, TC champion, Atomic Theorist, and then also down here for each year, there is, you could be the 26th runner up, whatever, so and so. So finishing in the top 3 is great. It gives you more tournament coins to work towards those rolls. And 100 is just the first one. Once somebody hits 100, I'll probably keep adding more and more rolls. And also at some point, I'll probably integrate this into the atomicchesstheory.com website so that it doesn't just live. So it doesn't just live on the Discord server. Right now, the closest person is actually Actly with 62 tournament coins, and then I'm right behind him. There's a lot of people up there over 50. Did the stream just cut out, by the way? It looks like we're rolling okay, but may have cut out for a second there. TC. So I guess while we're waiting here, that's the bracket. Right now we are in the semifinals against Natso. The winner will take on Wolfram for the championship, and the loser will take on Quasibianth in the 3rd place match. And the way the matches work is that it's a 10-game match, just like the AWC, 3 minutes with a 1-second increment for each side. And for each game with the white pieces, you have to make a different starting move. So you can't just spam like 2 knights or knight f3, that kind of stuff. You can only start with knight f3 once, and then the next game you'd have to play a different starting move. And that carries on into the tiebreakers. So should this match go into the tiebreakers, we'll have to continue to use different openings. It doesn't explicitly state it here, but it says we'll use the Atomic World Championship 2025 rules for tiebreaks, which means we can play up to 14 games before we'll have an Armageddon game, which will be kind of strange if we got to Armageddon. I don't actually know what you'd be bidding on, but we'll figure it out if we get there. So in this match, I am up against Natso, who is the 2-time defending Atomic World Champion on Lee Chess, which is kind of the gold standard, if you will, for Atomic Chess World Championships. The chess.com one is, definitely not held in as high regard. Dang, looks like some people have been playing some Wolf Random and such. But I think what I will do, instead of hopping into another game, I don't want to fry my brain too much. I'm just going to quickly go over some of the prep that I've done for Natso. I already have a video recorded about, let's see, how long was it? 37-minute video. That was way too long. I spent far too long on that video. But basically, I've done prep for 4 different opening moves. So e3, knight c3, knight f3, and knight h3 are 4 moves that I will play against him. And then, yo, what's up, Genesis? Yo, is this? No, wait, that's genius. It's funny that he's talking about this because I actually have some of that prep against Natso. But basically, I've got 4 moves prepped from the white side, and then 4 moves that I think he could play: knight f3, knight c3, knight h3, and d4 for him. So let's just start going over this. We're not going to get through the whole thing because he said he would show up around 14:10 UTC, and it's currently 14:11. So it's about a minute past when he said he'd be here. So I don't think that we'll be waiting too much longer. But regardless, let's hop into it. So what I'm going to start the match off with is something that I'm super comfortable with. And I say this in the video that I recorded that'll be coming out very soon after this match ends. But basically, going into any match, you want to start off with an opening that you're really comfortable with. I love prepping different openings and things that are going to throw my opponent off. As you'll see in the match and in the video that I recorded, I prepped a lot of really insane stuff that I probably should have just kept it way simpler. But I do always like to keep my opponents guessing. I never want them to know exactly what I'm going to play. I mean, look at this beautiful database that Natso has, where he's got so many different moves that he plays. And even after knight f3, f6, he's got a bunch of different moves there that he plays as well. So somebody like Natso is way harder to prep against. Whereas like Rechester, I feel very, like, no offense, Rechester's a great player, but in a match setting, I feel pretty confident against Rechester, knowing that I can prep 2 or 3 openings, and at least I will have taken away the stuff that he's really comfortable in. So I've always tried to play more like Natso, where he wants me to check this game out. I've tried to play more like Natso, where you basically just mix things up and completely confuse your opponent. Here's some prep that, oh yeah, I've seen g4 before. I've always played e5 here, but I guess bishop takes g4 is a move as well. Yeah, that's a crazy. Knight fa is an insane move. I mean, necessary, but it's just like you have this queen here and you're trying to defend against it. I guess h5 was rejected because of, I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe this was a consideration, but yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. What in the world? Even king h8 was winning here. It's the manual castle. Okay, yeah, this is actually pretty insane. What in the world? Okay, but anyway, going back to the prep. So what I'm starting off with is, like I said, I always want to be very, very comfortable with the first thing that I play. But especially in this, where you're having to play different openings every time, I just want to start off with something that I know I'm not going to get a worse position than him. Like, he may beat me, but at least I'll get a comfortable position out of the opening. So I'm going to start off with e3. And I'm actually not going to play, if you look at my database, I play a few different things here. I used to play a bunch of knight f3, don't play that much anymore. Nowadays, I normally play b4 or knight a3, but I've also been known to play some knight c3 here. So really any of those 4 moves, but I'm actually going to play this move down here that I rarely ever play, which is knight h3. So I'm going to go for knight h3, and pretty much all these moves from his side are pretty much forced. He's definitely going to go h6. I mean, sure, queen h4 is a line. Like, this is something possible that he can play, but I don't expect to see this at all. It's something that he really hardly plays. I probably should honestly look at this. Maybe not b4, maybe d4. Yeah, I haven't honestly checked this at all, so if he plays this, well played to him, because he's completely confused me if so. But I expect to just see normal h6 and then get into this line. Now he could also go g6. I did a little bit of searching on this as well with queen h4 here takes, and then let's see, it was knight g5 and then followed by c3, knight f6, knight e6, bishop e7, knight g7, king f8, and then I'm going to go h3, knight e4 takes, and I'm comfortable in this position just fine. Equal material, my king is a little bit better than his, and I'd be happy to get into this position. Computer is starting up. Thanks for the flexibility. No problemo. So this is what I'm planning on starting with. Like I said, he'll probably just go bishop b4. I mean, he could play g6 here, but I'm expecting to see bishop to b4. And this is where I think he'll deviate, because he knows that he's got 3 different moves here that he likes to play. So I think that this is where the decision will be made. Against knight a6, it's just simply bishop e2 takes and b4. And I'm happy to get this position against him. Against f5, it's the move. I'm trying to remember what my prep was now. What did I prep here? I prepped, yeah, bishop a6, knight b5, just going up a pawn like so. And against a5, which is what I think he'll probably play, I'll go knight f4, which he's never seen before. I'm guessing he'll play d5, and then I'll continue into this line, and my prep continues after this. You know, I guess he could do something like d6 instead. Why can't I do this? Yeah, so I have to start with h3. And then I can hop in. Oops. Yeah, and I'm happy to have this position. I feel just pretty comfortable against him in this. So that is my preparation there for the first game. But what I'm really excited about is this knight f3, d4 stuff. I know that he won't be expecting it whatsoever. And I've got a lot of pretty crazy stuff prepped against him here. Hopefully he's not stream sniping me right now. But what I'm honestly, the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is knight a6. I need to quickly remind myself how to play against this. Okay, yeah, it's knight a3 instead of knight c3. And then there's this key move c4 here, to give your king a little bit of lift here. So I'm a bit worried about that line in particular, just because it's a very sharp line, but I think I should be okay there. But what he'll probably play, as you can see, he plays almost every time, is d5. And okay, here he is offering me a match. I'm pretty sure it's 3+1 though, unless I'm wrong. Let me check and make sure. I don't want to. Yeah, it is 3+1. Honestly, I'd love to play 3+2 against him and give myself some more time, but let's go 3+1, which is the correct time control. And then once he accepts, I will paste this into the Discord server. All right, here we go. Oh, I should also paste the stream link as well into the server. Give me just 1 second here. All right, here we go. Now we are hopping in. Let's go with e3. Just like we talked about, starting off with something that we're pretty comfortable in. And let's see what he's got against this. I'm super excited. Last time we played in a match, it was in the Atomic Chess League, and he beat me 4.5, 3.5, which was honestly a really good result for me. So let's see if I can repeat that here. Again, expecting to see bishop b4 here, he does. Because he knows that he can deviate this in that critical position that I was talking about earlier. So I really didn't expect to see him to play g6 instead there. I really expected bishop b4. Now this is where it's a question between a5, f5, and knight a6. Let's see what he goes for here. I do think we'll see a5. If not a5, I'm expecting knight a6. I really don't think we'll see f5 here, but he does play all three. So I think f5 is more of like a tricky line that he plays. Wow, and he goes for d6, because that was not expected at all. So I should just be able to go bishop a6 here, takes a knight b5, and just go up a pawn. I don't see why I can't do this, so let's do it. What in the world? There's no possible way he could have prepped this, but I mean, what is this absolute insanity that I'm seeing in front of me right now? This is crazy. I could take it chill and just go c3 here, honestly. I'm noticing some potential problems of like knight f6, knight g5 takes. This is opened up. If I go h3, then there's some bishop h3 ideas later on. I'm also just looking at knight f4, which tends to be a good move in these positions. Maybe that's what I'll go for. That way I don't have to worry about opening up his h-file at all. Let's play this. If he wants to take, then I'll probably go either here or here. I like the idea of like knight c7, king f8, knight takes e6. Although, then there's bishop h3, so okay. Now I have knight h5 though, which should be fine. This doesn't make too much sense. I obviously don't want to take because of bishop h3, but getting knight h5 in seems to be pretty dangerous for him here. No, not knight h3, e3. I played e3 and then knight h3. A big difference in this tournament here. Okay. It's not quite made though, because they're both hitting this square instead of hitting these squares next to the king here. So I need to decide how I want to hop in first. I guess this one definitely wants to be here, whereas this one could go to any of these squares, but I'm never really playing knight f6 here. So yeah, this makes sense, I do believe. I think I can go c3 here, because if here, I can always throw in an in-between move if I want. So let's start with c3. I think it now makes sense to stop him from taking here. And if bishop a6, then I think just d3 if here once again takes. And I should be good either way. If here, I guess I don't have this move anymore, but I can also just take here, takes rook b1 here, here, and I think I'm winning this like bishop a3, rook b1. Yeah, this is going to be a while for him to get this rolling though. I think I want to go here. Yeah, I could trade this off, but I like the position of my knights here. These pawns, kind of cutting them off from really, like if this pawn was pushed, you know, I could see a world in which I can check him here, but right now it's not looking too good. Going to similar position, interesting. By the way, hi Sergej, what is up, dog? How is it going? Yeah, I like this move just because it cuts off his knight from ever coming in. He's probably going to try to sack here at some point and then just completely try to destroy the king side. I may go h3 if he doesn't play h3 just as a defensive move. I'm really taking this slowly and just trying to be annoying, have kind of an annoying grasp on the position here. Looks like Quasa's trying to give away my preparation in the Discord server. Hopefully Natso is not checking it too much. Okay, yeah, like I said, we may see a sacrifice here. I think I'm going to go ahead and take and then just try to roll this b pawn down. That's the plan. If takes, maybe h3 makes sense, but honestly, it may not even be necessary. Because after he goes g4, I can just take that, right? So I may just let him take and go g4, and then I'll take. Interesting. Going for this, I still don't think I have to respond to this just yet. If knight g3, there's always takes, h3, king h2. Even if he goes h3 here, I can probably take knight g3 takes here, rook h3. I technically have knight h5, but it's a little dangerous there. So the question is, do I want to go into that or not? There's also bishop b2 here. I think the safe route is just to take. This rook is never really getting into the game, I don't think. And after g4 just takes, and these rooks should be able to trade themselves off. I think I have enough defense around my king here to where I don't need to be too worried about it. Yeah, probably just going to take here. And yeah, rook h6. Oh, that's actually a bit annoying, though. Didn't consider that whatsoever. Always finding a way to make life difficult, aren't we, Natso? Now that g4 takes, rook h4 is unclear, but he doesn't go for it. So let's go rook g4, cutting off this knight move. And I want to get e4 in to open up the bishop and really try to... Okay, now if takes, I have bishop g5 followed by rook f1. And this knight is cutting this off. Let's see. Oh, wait, I can just take here. I was panicking for a second. Pretty crazy game, but I will take the win in game 1 against Natso. Okay, going with the move d4. I'm going to play knight a6 here, and I'm expecting to see either e4 or knight to f3 here. Let's see what he elects to play. I'm prepared for both. I would prefer to see e4, and wow, he goes for knight to h3 instead. So I'll play h6. After bishop g5, we may transpose into something else with knight f6, but he doesn't play it. So I think I'll just go d5 instead. Okay, can I go knight f6 here? I want to transpose into my preparation that involved knight to f6, but it's obviously a different position because normally you wouldn't have had e4 on the board. So then there's e5. But then I'm looking at bishop g4, f3, e6, and I'm thinking it's not too bad of a position, so let's just go for it. Yeah, this is kind of transposing into a different line though, that I'm not a huge fan of. So after takes, it looks like I'm doing well because that was the first one to take, but the problem is his e-pawn's already pushed, so he's threatening bishop b5. If I go b5, then there's some bishop d2. So maybe a6, I think, is the right move. But there's still bishop d2, and then I can't take because of bishop to b4, so I think I am not doing too well here. Yeah, he was successfully able to confuse me into a line that I didn't really want to play. I had prepped knight f3 and e4, and he just plays knight h3. I don't really see a good option. I guess e5 looks nice because it's... I'm assuming that this is going to happen anyway, so I'm just trying to get as much counterplay as possible, but I mean, I don't think I have much here. I've got to take here. There's no sense in king d8, I don't think. Yeah, and I mean, this is just not great. Not great at all. He had to play c6 as soon as so. Oh, c6 here. Oh, yeah. That would have been a lot better. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Why is my chat so good? Oh, we got Wolfram up in here. What in the world? A little bit of a trap here. If he goes for something like h4, maybe I have some rook c8 ideas, but honestly, it's all just lost anyway. So my final hope is that he forgets that pawnization is a thing, and he remembered. No, it's not an actual line. All right, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time to play what Quaza just announced to the world and go for some knight f3, d4. I'm so pumped for this. Okay, he does go for d5. I've almost already forgot my preparation. I've prepped this line probably for like an hour yesterday. I was looking at this line. Now he can play c6, b5, or a6. He has played knight a6 and knight h6 before, and he does go for c6. So all of my preparation is completely rendered useless. He's played this move like twice in this position. No joke, he's played it like twice in this position. All that I looked at was that I was going to play random player spam if he plays c6, but he plays b5 and a6 so much. He's literally just playing this to try to throw me off. And sadly, and it looks like he's improved upon his preparation, because last time he had this position, he played bishop takes f3. But here we see that he is not playing that. So I believe the move is bishop c7. And at this point, I am completely out of prep. I hate that I did all that preparation just for it to be useless. But you know, that's what happens when you're playing against somebody like Natso. He's always trying to switch it up. I want to go queen c1, but then there's g5. Is that punishable at all? I guess he's also threatening this, so I probably need to do something about that. Maybe g3. This seems pretty good. I don't want to take here because after takes, bishop b4, c3, knight f6. It seems like he gets too much activity there. Whereas I still have both of these pawns here, and it's hard for me to get this bishop out. So, seems like it wouldn't have been that good. Okay, why are you guys telling me prep while I'm in the middle of a game? I guess I just shouldn't read chat while I'm actually playing. Okay, but how is he already destroying me here? What in the world? I guess I have to go bishop d3. And if takes, I would have queen e2 is the idea. b4 seems good here to cut off the bishop and the knight. This move feels really powerful. Feels, I guess I could have also castled, but I don't know if I want to castle allowing bishop h3. If he goes bishop h3 now, maybe there's some hopes of queenside castles. I'd love to play h3, g4, or bishop takes first. Going here and allowing this with the tempo just doesn't feel right. Maybe now we play g4. You know, he still can't take here because of queen e2, but he's getting closer to. Now castle doesn't make too much sense for him because I can take. Although maybe that's okay after bishop takes here. Yeah, because now after takes, there's takes, and I have to go queen e2, yeah? So, is there any way around this? I'm going to do it this way because if I go takes, then there's takes. But now if I take this way and he takes, I'm hanging on to this g-pawn. And it's looking kind of drawish. If he does go for this, I think queen e2 is pretty much forced. After which rook e8, queen e6 takes, castles, rook e8, rook e1 here takes. And then I think my rook will be getting, it'll be a rook to 2 knights. And I think I can hold for a draw there. If anything, I think he's playing for a win. Because I don't think I have any way to really create anything. But if not bishop takes e3, then I can go c takes d4 and the game will continue. But yeah, he does know the importance of getting me out of prep. But the thing is, A6 should have been able to get me out of prep because he rarely ever plays that move. Maybe it makes more sense to castle queenside actually, because he's got the 4-3 advantage. So just in case, yeah, I might castle queenside. He plays A6 a lot less than B5, so I was expecting to see A6, which is kind of an off-meta move, but instead he plays something that he's literally played twice in that position. I mean, legit, like, never played this move. It's just insane prep. Okay, the only bad thing I'm noticing is about castling queenside is this move knight f7. After rook e1, f95, f4, there's knight to d3, but I guess he could have gone here either way, so let's just go f4. But yeah, Natso truly is always trying to get his opponent out of prep. Now, if knight e8, I should be able to go rook e1 just fine. I don't want to go f5, I don't think. Although I guess I could, because if he goes back to f7, I could go f6. So, I mean, we've got the 3-2 advantage, and our kings are on this side, so I could potentially win this. Yeah, like if knight e6 here, I think I just take, and I'm probably winning that. So he doesn't want to play that. I've got to take here now. And after this... Don't see how I'm winning this now. Threatening to take here, which would just be a draw. Also threatening rook f5 to get in. So he doesn't want to allow the draw. But I still don't think, yeah, he can always play c5, and there's really no way for me to win this. Only last ditch effort is to try to push this, but yeah, that's not going to happen. So he could try to move up if he wants to. Try to create something. But I always have the draw if I want it, because I can go, like if he goes here, I can always cut off with rook c4. Wait a second. Did he just blunder? What a crazy game. What a crazy game. I don't know who was at risk there. I feel like he made it harder on himself than he had to, but maybe there was... I mean, he certainly probably had a chance. Okay, e4. I did not prep this at all. I guess I'll go e6. Just see what he's got here. I hope he plays some of these moves at some point and my preparation doesn't go to waste. Okay, let's just go for French defense. Felt like black was winning at some point. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. You mean after the rook was infiltrated? I could certainly see that he was almost connected, but even if he... It felt like I could have always sidestepped if I want. Like, when he was coming down on the queen side, like I could have gone rook c4 and cut him off. And even if he had gone like king d2 there, I would have moved my king. And it felt like he would have been in a little bit of pressure there, but... Okay, let's think about this. I feel like this is a position that I've had a million times. And I seem to always lose it. So let's see, what can we do here? f5, there's d5. Bishop d6, knight f4. Can also go c5 here. Let's try c5. d5, I'll probably just go bishop d6. Knight f4 maybe takes. d6, bishop d7, or knight d7. But I think bishop d6 should be okay. There's also knight c4 stuff, which is not great. I just thought about that. Yeah. This is not my favorite thing in the world. takes. There's bishop b5, knight c6 takes. Maybe c4 there. Maybe f5 there. That's not the end of the world. At least it gets into a sharpish position, I think. So I think I'm happy to go into this. Maybe he can make it worse with something like this. I don't know. Knight f4, if I took, there would be d6, bishop d7. But okay, we don't go into any of that anyway, so it doesn't matter. I want to go c4, but I'm just trying to think if there's better. I mean, bishop a6 forces out c4 from him. But with this bishop still here, there's no way to really sneak my queen in. I could also just leave it b and just play f5. Maybe that's what I'll do. This is a nice move to make anyway, just opening up knight f6, especially after d6, bishop b7, then knight f6 becomes a big threat. So we'll likely see knight f4 at some point, I guess. But at least I'll have to waste a move taking this, yeah? But it also stops knight f6, so the question is, what move do I make after knight f4? It is unclear. Yeah, and he does go for it. I think this is an improving move. Opens up queen b6 ideas. After takes, I can go knight f6, and if d7, I'll just go here, and at least my knight is active. It feels still losing for me. There's a lot of ways that he can play that, but I'm blocking queen e2 checks with knight e4, and this pawn blocks this queen from getting out this way, so maybe there's some hope here. I think we'll just see d7 though, force out king f8, kind of making this rook a bit weaker and making it hard for this queen to get out, because you could always meet that with d8 unless I'm able to threaten an explosion like I am there. But as long as this bishop is on the board, it is actually kind of tough for me to create something there. Okay, goes for queen to d4. What a crazy move. Blocking off queen b6. Kind of pinning this knight here, also threatening queen e5. Although I guess I could always probably just go there. So I guess king g8 helps. He's also threatening queen c5. So sure, let's go here with ideas of maybe coming here. Although queen c5, I can't come here just yet because the bishop takes. So I may... No, I'll have knight e4 there. I'll have knight e4. Yeah, this knight is actually... He needs to play something like f3, I guess. But then maybe I go h5. And now king h7 is a real possibility. You know, with the queen on c5, I mean, he won't be able to go there because of takes. He won't want to go there because of rook takes. So... Why doesn't it show up on Leechess that you're streaming? Well, I didn't put leechess.org in the stream name. Let's just go h5. It's a tricky move. It may not be the best move, but it comes with ideas of king h7. And if I can nestle my king on h7, it does make this queen quite a bit weaker, and it opens up this rook. So, I mean, yeah, even if he's able to go bishop g7, I'll probably go something like rook f8 maybe. And get this rook to block the queen here. I see why this is bad, though, because this queen is still wreaking havoc on my position here, and he's threatening to go rook e1. I can't move this rook because the queen's just coming in. Trying to find any kind of scam here, like queen a5, but there's nothing here that I can find. If I just go here, okay, that works too. Interesting. What in the world, dude? How do I always scam him in these positions? I was completely toast there. I don't know how that was a draw. Oh, he's so much better than me too. Like I shouldn't be doing, but this is what happened in our last match. Like he's just completely destroying me, and then somehow, some way, there's a draw or a win. But yeah, I was completely toast there. That's crazy. All right, we're going back to the knight c3 d4 stuff. Let's see what he's got here. Goes for knight c6 again. I did do some extra prep on this line. So let's see if he's changed up anything, or is he going to go back to queen h5 here, which is what he played in our last match. I want to make sure I don't get my prep wrong. It's knight f3. Knight b4 will be met with g4. And, okay, goes for knight f6 here. I think it's still g4. I only really looked at knight b4, so okay, he does end up going for knight b4 anyway. Wait, obviously I can't take there. What am I doing? Now maybe it's knight d5. Wait, knight d5 is just this, so no. Maybe knight e5. Takes and then knight d5? Wait, no, there's queen h4. Uh-oh. Alright, this is crazy. Move bishop g5. Doesn't really do anything except force out f6. Yeah, this is part of my preparation. I think normally what I had prepped was bishop b4. I had prepped this like some lines up to 25 moves, but I'm really confused in this position. For ACL, he would just start with knight b4, g4, and then like either takes, or I can't actually remember what was played now, but I did some extra preparation, but he's confused me successfully here. I don't know what the right move is in this position. I know it's not worst for white, but I obviously can't take here. I'll just have to look at it after the game. Interesting. Going for this. But now I get to keep my queen on the board. Oh, but he has queen g6. So maybe he finds a way out of it. Although, queen f3... What does he have after queen f3? Did he just blunder this? Alright, what do you have against queen f3? I don't see what's stopping this. It seems like you have to play something like this, but yeah, f6 and f5 should both lose to takes or takes. I think he just messed up there. And now I should be able to win this. Yeah. It's just double checking everything, making sure. I don't know why I hesitated there for a second. Yeah, he had to have had me there. I mean, like, knight takes c2 should have been winning, so I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but we'll take it. The sad thing is I've played my 3 best openings, and I feel like he's been playing a bunch of nonsense, and he's still beating me, so... Up next for me, I've played e3, knight f3, knight c3, so I can play knight h3 as well. But... Alright, he likes to go for knight c3. I did a little bit of prep on this, because I figured he would play it. I'm just going to go for this line. He normally goes knight h3 here. It's not forced to go knight h3 though. But yeah, this is a line that I've had quite a bit from the white side lately once I started playing knight c3 myself. So I'll go knight to c6, followed by d4 after he goes b4. And really what I want to do is I want to get e4 in as well. But I think he goes d3, and then I want to say f5. Was it e4 or f5 first? I think it's f5, f4, e4, something like that. Okay, maybe I did it wrong. Yeah, this was not my prep at all. I'm already out of book now. But I do think it was f5 before e4. I don't think I'm supposed to go e4 first. Yeah, obviously not, right? Because of queen h5, g6, queen d5. So I think f5 is the right move. I think he normally just goes f4, e4, and then I'd prep some lines with like bishop e6. You'll see it all in the prep video. But instead, f4 I like just fine. I mean, somewhat of a threat of this, but also opening up some knight f6 potential. Right, his pawn is still on f2. So knight f6, knight g5. There's some potential for knight g4 maybe. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate knight f6 here at all. There's also bishop e7, which is kind of a weird move. But I don't hate this move either. I like both bishop e7 and knight f6. Bishop e7, there's queen f3 here, king d1, bishop g4. Knight f6, there's technically queen f3, and then I need to move the bishop, and then he could take. So let's go bishop e7. Just for the... Wait, no. I would have had knight takes d4 anyway. I'm stupid. Yeah, I thought he might do this and then bishop g5. But this can't be too bad for me, can it? I can take, or I can go bishop f6. This position seems fine for me, though, either way. Let's go bishop f6. I don't know which is better, and one of my strategies with this match is just to not fall too far behind on the clock. So let's keep moving fast. I can't really tell you which one of these moves is better, but I can tell you that I don't see one that's clearly better than the other, so I'm just going to make a move. And I guess in general, maybe keeping pieces on the board is good when his queen is there, so I can, I don't know. This was just my gut reaction. But now knight h6 is opened up, and if takes, obviously my bishop can come out to g5 or h4. He goes h3. I was expecting maybe to see h4, but I guess he wants to control the light squares. But he needs to kind of decide. Maybe he'll end up taking here, but now knight g4 is a big threat that he just lets me play. Well, surely I should play this, yeah? Knight e3, because there's no threats of takes anyway. I just go bishop h4, I think. And that's going to be mate, so he'll probably go queen e2, and then I'm looking at bishop g4. He does take, but I mean, surely this is some kind of not good for him, right? I don't want to commit to too much here. Like if castles, rook g, you get 1 here. I didn't like g6 or g5. Let's go g5. I don't really think f4 is much of a threat. That's going to help me anyway. Maybe there's some g4 threats in the future. And as far as my bishop, I'm never bringing it back. So I think g5 is better than g6. The only reason I'd play g6 is really to stop queen h5 stuff. But again, that's assuming he would play f4. I don't really think he'd play f4. It also cuts off this diagonal as well. Maybe he'll try to sneak in this way, but I also have bishop e6, so I don't see an easy way for his queen to get in here, and any queenside attack should just be super slow because I can castle and just get my rooks rolling towards his king. Maybe I could have played this better. Maybe I could have gone knight f2, but I just figured there's no way he was going to take. So I'm not too upset with this. I think I'm doing just fine here. But let's see. Okay, wow, and he completely calls my bluff and just goes straight for f4. There's castles, queen h5, takes queen f7 here. That should be a win for me, yeah? I don't really want to take here because it allows queen f3. I think I just want to castle. But I think that's winning for me. Unless I'm completely miscalculating here, but I don't see He can't push either because it's just bishop takes. So, but this basically cuts off queen f3 ideas because if it takes immediately, queen f3, and I'm actually just low-key losing that, I think. Maybe I can go like here in queenside castles, but yeah, this is simpler. Queen h5, it looks scary, but he's got to go queen f7. And he can never really get a rook over here just because my bishop's always going to be able to block it. I also have 95 threats as well. Just g4, I think. I want to get this other bishop in. But he's going to run. Wow, okay, we got him. That is crazy. So here's the thing. I prepped to start with e3, knight h3, knight c3, so that when I go for knight h3, I can go knight c3, and after e6, I can go e3 if it went well. I was like, I think it went fine, so I may just go for it again. He is taking a while here. Let's see, queen a2 scams. Yeah, I did look at queen a2 as a possibility. But I think I always had bishop e6. All right, so I had originally prepped to go d4, but this is why I started with e3, so that I could get this position again if I wanted it. And okay, here he is going for g6 instead. So I was able to get the same position twice, and now, of course, he's going to try something different. And let's hopefully not forget our preparation here. I believe it's knight g5 followed by c3. Yes, same opening again, successfully found a way to cheat the system. Okay, what is this? Like, come on, Natso. That's actually kind of a scary move, I feel like. Maybe it's something like knight h7? I guess so. So then I can take here. Oh, but that's so smart, Natso. So smart. Yeah, I didn't prep this at all. He normally plays something different other than knight a6, so I wasn't expecting that whatsoever. But we should be okay here. Now I can go bishop d3 now. I guess there's knight d5. There's no bishop e4 threats here because he's already played c6. I do like the idea of bishop d3, but I mean f3 is fine too. The problem is f3 knight b4 takes. I generally like to go bishop d3 in these types of positions. I guess f3 is good because if he does go knight b4, at least it's like taking this stuff away. So now I have a lot of queen b3 threats probably. Like if I needed a draw already, I could go queen b3, queen takes e6 here, but I don't really want to draw. So let's go d4. It does allow knight d5, but then there's bishop d2. And takes, I don't know, a little scary, Maybe I should not have played that fast. Oh, I guess knight d5, there's also a3, and then e4. So maybe it's not too bad. Bishop d2 is just a little scary because there's takes, and I don't want to have to trade off my queen for his rook. So let's go a3. It seems to be a better move anyway. A little bit less committal. And then I can go e4. He'll probably castle. Maybe he won't, though, because he wants to keep this g-file idea open. Maybe something like g5 would be scarier. Okay, no, it goes for f4 instead. I think I have to go h3 here, yeah. I'm okay with takes here. I don't love it, but at least my bishop's still defending this, so I can castle and get my rook over here. And at that point, the g-pawn would be a little slow. Now, surely something like g5, yeah? But see, I mean, e4 seems so good here, because it completely cuts off his attack. I guess he wants to go like rook e8 and maybe d5 in the future, but then there's e5. Does go for rook e8. I think I castle here now. I mean, I'm a little bit scared of g5, though. I'm just a little scared. Oh, what about queen b3, king h8, and takes? Wait, this seems too good to be true. Now there's no way to get the knight in. Actually, after king h8, I don't have to immediately take anyway. I could just castle. But yeah, I don't love castling immediately because g5 just feels scary. But after king h8, king h8 either castles or takes here. Both seem fine. Oh, wow, that's a good move. Holy crap, that's a good move. I didn't think about that at all. Okay, that's actually pretty scary. Now I think I just have to take here because if I obviously can't take here because if I could, that'd be great, but I just legally can't. The only other option would be to take here. I don't hate that either. Maybe that's the right way to go because then I'll be up rook. I mean, like material-wise, it's equal, but I am the side with the rook. This is like for sure I can't lose. This is a little bit more risky. So let's go for the more risky line where it's like, you know, he's probably going to go g5 here, or not maybe here immediately, but at some point there's g5 ideas. It does get a little scary, but I do have the extra rook. So it gives me more chances to win, I feel like, as well. Bishop d2 is probably the next move I'm going to make. Okay, no. Wow, this is interesting. Let's go b3, because I kind of want to castle, but I don't want to do it immediately. Let him go rook to b8. Bishop d3, then I'll probably just queenside castle. Or I could also kingside castle, but I gotta be obviously worried about this. Oh, I can't kingside castle. Okay, looks like it's queenside castle. Is this scary at all? Low key? Getting a little nervous here, getting a little nervous. This is like for sure a draw, yeah? Maybe I just go here and make sure I can hold a draw here because I can always play rook e1. If I go rook d2, there's like a5, rook b8 stuff, and it starts to get pretty scary. I don't know if I'm fast enough to get over to the b file. But this way, like he's probably trading his bishop off for this rook at some point. And I think I should be able to get a draw here. I'll probably play rook e1, just making sure. Once I have rook e1 on the board, he really can't ever take this pawn if he's still trying to win. Yeah, I think this should just be a draw. The only other way he can probably play for a win is to take here. But at that point, I don't see how he's winning that. In fact, I likely have better chances. Yeah, let's go ahead and go rook e1. You can't do this as long as I have a rook on the board, and now I'm pretty much guaranteed. Okay, the only other, yeah, he still can take here. Okay, no, we're just making a draw. All right, which means we've been in this position before. We're one win away from beating him. And last time we were in this position, he was able to still beat me in the match. So let's see if we're able to get the job done here. Queen b3 feels wrong. Yeah, I totally missed bishop e6. I think if I hadn't gone queen b3, I could have been a lot happier. Okay, I didn't do any preparation for 2 knights. I was hoping he'd go for something else. I didn't really feel like spending a whole lot of time prepping for 2 knights when you really don't know what he's going to play after knight f3 anyway. So I spent my time kind of prepping other stuff. So sadly, I'm not booked up for this at all. So you guys will get a front row seat to watch him destroy me here. Okay. Already I have no idea what to play. I mean, I know there's lines here, but maybe g6 is the trickiest. I mean, after g6, there's some knight h4 stuff, and then it feels like it's always hard to get this knight out, but we'll see. Let's just play weird stuff and see what happens. Now d5 is good, yeah? Takes, d5. Could also go knight h6 here, but that allows h3. The thing I like is after d5 takes d5, bishop d6 comes with this, but maybe I don't want to allow this d pawn to roam free. I guess let's just do it. Let's just try to create something. He's also threatening like some bishop f4 stuff coming in. e5 is never really great at defending that because now this diagonal is opened up for stuff, so e5 tends to be a pretty weakening move. So let's just go d5. It pretty much forces him to take here, I think, because we're threatening to take here. Just a pretty big threat, so he doesn't have any time for like queen e2 stuff like you sometimes do. Yeah, you pretty much have to take, and I'm likely see d5. Also opens up this rook as well, so I don't hate this. I mean, this is, I don't know if it's the exact line, but it's a similar line that I prepped against Wolfram. I know I was talking about it with him a little bit the other day, and I think it's a good way to just kind of throw players off a bit. This idea of a6 and d5. Okay, he still goes for bishop f4, but I think I could just go bishop d6. Just kind of what I wanted to play anyway. And if d5, I'll just take. So what's your plan here? I definitely don't want to go e5. That's just, I feel like e5, like rook e1, it already feels rough. I don't really want to push this pawn right now if I don't have to. Still goes for d5, which means I could take here. What happens if I take? Takes. There's queen d6. Which means he's probably going to, I mean, why can't I just take here? Am I missing something obvious? I probably am, but like, I guess probably the best move is queen e2. Threatening queen b5 and getting on this e file, so there's sets of takes, but even then queen c7. Maybe it doesn't do anything, but takes queen e2. It's also rook a5, which is just insane, but I don't think it works. Okay, so let's not do that. Oh wait, but if we're not doing that, then what are we doing here, yeah? That's a good question. Let's go knight h6. And there's some good threats here. After takes, probably just queen d2. Queen e2. Yeah, actually, I can take, I think. So he probably won't go queen e2. He'd probably just take, and then maybe knight g4. Here, takes here. And there's always going to be bishop e6 there, so... Let's see. I think this is trickier. I think this is... It's a sharp line, but I think if he finds queen e2, I don't see a way to make it work there. This way, I think, is a little tough for him because I always am going to have bishop e6 if he moves a rook over. And I'm always going to be able to castle if he moves a rook over to the d file. Although, maybe there's some knight g5 stuff there. Who knows? Wait a second. Guys? Did we just take him down? I don't see what to do after queen f4. Unless I'm blind as a bat. Oh my goodness, that's insane. What in the world? Guys, Natso's the GOAT, man. Oh my gosh. And he didn't even play towards my prep in some of these games. I had some insane prep in some of those. That's insane, bro. Alright, we're going to keep going. Just to get some interesting games in here. So I've gone knight f3, knight h3, knight c3, and e3. I had prepped a couple other things. I looked at g4, I looked at c3. Let's go e4. Let's go e4. Thank you. Wolfram, I guess we'll... Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, I honestly think knight h3, e3 has kind of stood the test of time. It's just such a solid line. I mean, I was able to get 2 wins with it, right? Or did I draw that second time I played it? I think I was a draw the second time I played it. But he really he had some good prep against it. Should I not release the Natso prep? No, I'm still going to release it. Part of it is just so you guys know that I did all this prep beforehand and I'm not making this stuff up on the fly. But I'll go ahead and release it. Like my preparation for each player is quite a bit different. Like I've already done a little bit of preparation on you, Wolfram, and in general, like when it comes to players like Natso and Wolfram and these guys, like you're not going to be able to predict them 100%. Like it's just not going to happen. And so, um, yeah, I, I don't think that like I prepped some really crazy lines for him that I'll probably not get into at all against Wolfram. So it's not a big deal for me to release it. And for my next match against Natso, I probably won't prep the exact same things. He obviously really confused me in that knight c3 d4 line. He really confused me there. But um, yeah, that is crazy. I am still honestly in shock. Like as far as long as I've been in Atomic Chess, like Natso has been the guy. And I mean, when I first started out, Never of Zero was one of the. Well, I guess later on he was when he really started to take off. But I was able to beat Nas in the AWC. And at the time, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is this huge accomplishment." But then obviously, it turns out Nas was cheating, so it didn't really feel that valuable anyway. Whereas Natso, like, nobody really thinks. I don't want to knock on wood. I don't really think Natso is cheating. So it feels pretty nice to beat him in a match setting. I do kind of look as of the last couple of years, like if you take out Nas because Nas was cheating, like Natso seems to be the best player in the world by a decent margin too. And sure, did he prep very much for this match? Probably not. That's probably why we were able to take him down here. Same thing in the ACL. I probably would not have gotten 3 games off of him or 3.5 games off of him if he had fully prepped. But even still, Natso without prep is better than me most days. So it still feels nice. And I think we're doing quite well here. Threats of bishop takes e6. If he had gone e5 here, I had bishop e6, which was nice. But yeah, if here I'm just going bishop e7 and we should be okay here. After we play this last game, though, I'm not going to go over all the games, but I do want to quickly check out this last game that we played because I never felt like completely worse. Like normally in 2 nights, I feel completely busted, but I never felt like I was so much worse there, I guess. So I was interested to see if he just went completely wrong somewhere or if I just found some crazy line. I don't know. Hold it. Is he going to pawnetize me here? After this, rook h7 takes. So maybe I should go bishop h6 instead. Okay, but now I can do this. Oh, there's bishop g8 here. But like obviously if rooks get traded, then I can come here, yeah? Yeah, now it should be good. b3 here takes. And the rooks are for sure coming off the board, right? Unless he's able to sidestep me a bunch, but I don't think so. Oh, wow. Is he going to find something crazy here? But it doesn't matter because we haven't traded the rooks off yet anyway. Okay, yeah, looks like I'm okay here. So now I can take. It should be good. I also just had this. I was blind. Is there any chance for him to hold a draw here? I don't think there was anyway. Okay, goes for knight h3. Let's see if I get to play my super secret stuff against him. I want him to go d4, and I can get this crazy line against him. Bishop g5, bishop g5, bishop g5. Surely you will play bishop g5. Let's go. Let's go. All right, here we go. Every time he's had this position, he's played knight c3. This is the stupidest line ever. I don't think I could ever play this in AWC. But, oh, what is this, bro? What are we doing? That actually seems like a really good move. Why is that not like... dude, always ruining the fun. It's a stupid line anyway. If you just go knight c3, still completely winning. Okay, obviously the threat is here with these threats. So there's bishop c5, bishop b4, and then some of like castles. Or there's e5, or there's d6. Lots of different options. e5 is kind of the most ambitious one. So let's try it. Generally, these positions shouldn't be that good for me after d6, opening up all these different ideas. And you can attack behind the e pawn that's already been pushed. But I'm feeling ambitious, so let's go for it. c5 might run into knight c3. Normally, I'd like to play c5 to go ahead and get it on c4 and block these pieces, but c5, I'm looking at knight c3, and I'm thinking, what am I doing? Okay, actually, maybe it's not too bad. c5, knight c3, queen a5, pinning it, b4, knight g4, f3, knight e3 takes, and maybe I'm still screwed there. Okay, goes for e3 anyway, so doesn't play it. Now let's go c4, cutting this bishop off. That's pretty necessary. If I'm going to go c5, I've got to play c4. Okay, still knight c3 is obviously scary, and he plays it now. But now queen a5 is no longer really b4, because I'll just en passant. And then I can still go knight g4. So yeah, you kind of I was thinking you might have to take there. Now queen g4 is a threat. Queen g4 is a threat, but f5, there's queen h5, queen h4 that I think is losing, so how do I even defend this right now? There's e4, but that doesn't quite work. Queen g4, but I try to go queen f5, there's knight takes. So it seems like my best bet is to go h5, even though it allows knight g5. I don't see another way to really stop this, so I think I have to go for this. Now this bishop just sucks. I don't really like this position. I mean, I have some counterplay, sure, but really don't love this position. Knight h7, maybe I can just take it. I mean, I was looking at king d8. Oof. Oof, that's such a good move. That's just like mate, yeah. Wow, that's such a good move. Didn't see it at all. Promote to a queen, and I've got nothing there. Oh my gosh, he somehow found a better line. All right, GG's, GG's. I wonder if I had anything here. Wow, no, it was mate even. Wow, it was mate from this point. Holy crap. So it was mate after queen a5. Why did you have to go and play d5? See, look. He normally... Oh, wait. Why did I think he normally plays knight c3? Wait, I got my positions confused or what? What in the world? Oh, I'm supposed to play... Why did I play e6? I'm supposed to start with knight a6, and then you go bishop g5. I totally messed up my preparation, but it's this trap right here that I have to show I beat Rechester in. After knight b5, d4, takes, queenside castles, queen d3, knight g4, castles here, takes, d3, c3 takes. The opening explorer is glitching, but this is what happened in our game. Yeah, and then it's just... Finish this force mate. Anyway, I would like to look at, before I let you guys go, I would like to look at the last game that we played here. So it was 2 nights, and I feel like generally, like, this is just not a great, like, yeah, Natso scores pretty well in this, 69 nice win percentage, but generally I feel like I don't score too well as black. I mean, I guess about 50-50, so maybe it's not too bad. But I just feel like recently I've been really struggling. Yeah, G6 is actually when I played against him here, which this knight h4 move has been really annoying for me. I guess it's been Maxwell that's played it against me, but yeah, this idea of a6 d5, I don't know the exact line where I learned it against Wolfram, but I started playing it, and basically you want to get d5 in, because after it takes, there's like, it opens up your queen, it just opens up the position a bit more for black. But obviously if you go d5 immediately and takes, then it's just mate. So you have to start with a6, and then you're just sacrificing a pawn here. So you're down a bishop to 2 pawns, but you do have a decent amount of counterplay here. And already after bishop f4, it was already equal. So d5 is what I was expecting to see, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do against here. I was actually looking at possibilities of rook a4, which looks like is a move that the computer suggests, like ideas to come over to really any of these squares. But he didn't go for that. He went for bishop f4 instead, which knight h6 makes sense, but it's a little scary because you get bishop c7, queen d5, bishop d6. I'm curious here. Okay, that's just totally fine, I guess. But instead I went for bishop d6, and okay, yeah, I really considered bishop takes f4. So what I saw was queen e2. Wow, and there was some ways to defend this. Okay, yeah, I really thought I was just screwed here. I was looking at rook a4, actually, or no, rook a5 was the move after takes. I guess I'll always have bishop e6 there. So instead, the computer likes queen d3, queen d3 again with the threat, which I guess the other threat is that you just come here. So rook f5, you're opening up the e file. And now this is a huge threat because it comes with a check. So who knows if he would have found queen d3. I don't think queen d3 is that easy to find in this position. Queen e2 makes more sense because you're on the e file, but I guess it makes sense that you want the e file and the d file occupied. Just seems like it's a tough move to find there. So regardless, I went knight h6 instead, which I felt like was the harder move to spot. How to beat it? I mean, it looks like it was the better move anyway, but it's not clear how to really play against this. And yeah, I saw this, and after queen d2, I mean, this was a scary move, but you just take, and you can never really come here. And if takes, same thing, knight g4. And if you ever try to come over here, well, okay, now that's just mate. But yeah, like h3, I can always just take. And yeah, I saw that this would probably be a perpetual, yeah. Or not a perpetual. I guess it's just he's up material and I have the rook. But instead, none of that happened. After knight h6, he just took. And, if it's not for bishop h3, I guess he's winning. I didn't see it at first either, but crazy tactic, and we're able to get the job done there. But what a nice match. Maybe I need to go for now, but who knows, maybe later on I will make a video recapping the whole match because I thought it was a really good match overall. I will be posting my prep against Natso potentially immediately, or maybe tonight when I get back home. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the stream, for joining us today. Again, if you are just joining us, please go check out atomicchesstheory.com. It's the new website that I just came out with. We had an any capture arena before my match against Natso. That was a lot of fun. So basically, atomicchesstheory.com. The whole goal, as with anything else Atomic Theory, is just to grow the atomic community. But the main feature right now with it is that it will be used for, sorry, I'm just trying to pull up this bracket as well. right now it's used for playing a whole bunch of different variants. You can play 960, Wolf Random, any capture. You can mix and match as much as you want. Stream weekly. I want to. My Wi-Fi where I live is really bad, so I can't really stream yet. But eventually, I would like to. But anyway, right now you can play a whole bunch of different variants. There's also a tutorial for completely new players that shows you step by step how to play Atomic, how it works. You can win by exploding the king, yada yada yada. There's also an analysis board for the variants that I will continue to work on, as well as a little description for each one. And I just came out with this a few days ago, so I will continue to be adding to it. Another feature that I didn't mention earlier is that there's this tournaments tab where you can not only keep up with ongoing tournaments that are happening, also it'll include upcoming tournaments, but also eventually it's going to be able to show you upcoming matches for those tournaments as well. So I'll add in a feature where you could have seen, oh, Jake State Farm and Natso are playing in this tournament at this time and day. So eventually that'll be on the website. You can also go down here and just look at all the different teams that we're currently tracking. So if you're ever like, hey, I want to get involved in the Atomic community, this is the place where you can see what tournaments are coming up, what tournaments are going on right now, how to get involved, what team you need to join, all that stuff. Yeah, and then you can also look at some other stuff that we've run in the past as well. Other than that, it's also got my videos and my blog on here, but of course, if you guys follow me on YouTube or Leechess, you would have already seen that, so not too much to add there, just another place to find them. And then lastly, there's also merch if you want to support. It's totally optional. I ordered the mouse pad and the t-shirt a few days ago, so it should be coming in soon. You guys can see what they look like, but this is totally optional. I actually don't make hardly any money off of this. I ordered both for myself, and I think like profit I'll make like $6 or something. And of course, all of that I plan, at least right now, I just plan to put all that back into the channel, back into prize funds or equipment or that kind of stuff to continue to try to help grow the channel. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I guess I should input the results here. It was 5.5 to 2.5. So we are going to be in the finals against Wolfram, which is just insane. So that match will probably be in a week or two. And it's going to be Natso and Quaza in the third place match. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hopping on this stream today, for being in the tournament, for watching the match against Natso. It's a super fun day of Atomic Chess. I think there is a tournament on Leechess coming up, so you guys should all go join it. The weekly. It's the weekly Atomic Arena that's coming up. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day.